In this video I'm going to show you how you can add Apple loops in Garageband for iPad. Apple loops are pre-recorded musical phrases that you can use, and you can add drums, bass and other background parts to your songs. Garageband for iPad includes a loop browser where you can find and add Apple loops to your project. Let's access the loop browser then by tapping on this. It looks like a roller coaster loop in the top right of the control bar. The loop browser opens and it displays a list of available loops, and you can see we've got all sorts. You've got drums and things, and you can scroll up to choose different ones. You cycle through where it says instruments at the top. You'll then get some visual displays of instruments, which is quite useful for younger learners. Going over to the genres then allows you to select which type of genre. So if you want it to be more electronic, or if you want it to be more classical and orchestral, you can then change that as well. You can also go into descriptors, and so rather than being visual or genre based, you can go into, well, I want it to be more acoustic, or I want it to be dry, or I don't want it to have any sense of melody at all. So you can choose these descriptors words, especially when someone doesn't know what instrument they want or what style they want. So it's really useful to be able to search for loops that way. Say I wanted a guitar. What I could do is I could then cycle through. To preview, all you need to do is just tap it. And tap it again to stop. To add the loops to the project, all you will do is you'll then tap and drag to the project. And you'll see that because it's audio, it shows you the blue region, not a green region. And like MIDI, what you can do with audio is you can then move and resize them. You can resize by tapping at the end of the region and then moving the region around to your desired place. So say you wanted no drums at the beginning, but you just wanted the guitar and the piano, then you can do that quite nicely. And then you can preview just by pressing play. Now you could also add loops if you're working in the live loops grid view. And if you're not sure what that is, the top here, you can actually see, if you tap on this symbol here, it brings you into the live loops grid. Now to access loops, simply click on the loop browser, and then you can find what you need. For example, it could be, yeah, like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap, I'm going to hold, and you can see you can drag into an available square, or you can replace one that's already been occupied. So here's one here, and then it drags and it drops it in. Gives you the option to add some more. This is really good if you want to create a sound palette within live loops. If you want to do something where you've got a child that maybe doesn't work in a linear fashion, but likes the kind of touch and visual fashion. And then you just tap and to start and tap to stop. Notice the rows here, much like the track view, are horizontal, so any sound that's triggered within the same row will automatically stop another one. To have more than one track, you'll select one from a different row, and that works really well for people who want to work in a kind of linear fashion but using more touch based to bring in loops and such like. We'll have a look at the loop browser in more detail in a different video. You can also manage your loops in the browser as well. So for example, if you were wanting more Apple loops, if you're not sure, or if there's anything you've seen in this video which is not present on your own device, then you would tap get more Apple loops and it takes you to the sound library. You would then swipe up and you can see all the available sound packs, and below that you can see the artists and producers. We're going to go into more details about these in different videos. If you tap on sound packs, you will see these are all the available loop libraries that you can then download, from beat sequencers to brush drummers, and also Japanese and world sounds as well. So by downloading these to your iPad, space permitting, you can actually really open up the palette of sounds available in those loops as well. Click back on sound library to go back to here, and then once you're done, tap done in the top right hand side, and it brings you back into your previous view, whether it's either going to be the loops, the instrument view, or your actual project view. And that is a very basic overview of how you use Apple loops in Garageband for iPad. See you in the next video.